Okay, in video 1, I explained how to do the assignment. This video I'm going to go into a little bit more detail, explaining what the rules actually are, how you should use them, and what type of answers I'm looking for. So, if you remember from the last mission, when you make an inference in fiction, the last mission was mission figure 19B fiction, and I taught you these 4 rules. You answer the question in your own words first, you provide multiple examples to support your answer, you explain your answer further after providing the text evidence, and you connect the text to real-world experiences. You did these 4 things all in the last mission. What you should have learned after doing that mission is that your answer cannot be immediately obvious or super simple. This means that I shouldn't be able to guess your answer just from reading the title of your book or knowing the very basic plot of your book. Rule 2, your text evidence must match your answer very clearly. So if you give me an answer, the text evidence must make sense with that answer. Rule 3, your explanation is the best way to make your inference better. And then Rule 4, the best way to connect your answer to the real world is to make it personal. So your updated rules for Mission Figure 19B nonfiction are: answer the question in your own words first, same rule as before, and your answer cannot be immediately obvious or super simple. Rule 2, provide multiple examples to support your answer, and your text evidence must match your answer very clearly. Rule 3, explain your answer further after providing the text evidence, and your explanation is the best way to make your inference better. Connect the text to real-world experiences is Rule 4. So Rule 4, connect the text to real-world experiences, and the best way to connect your answer to the real world is to make it personal. So, 4 rules. They're just a little bit longer this time, little extra parts. I'm going to show you how to follow all of these rules below. So that's page 2. Page 2, I'm showing you how to follow all of these rules. So, the way that I did this, text 1, which seems to have disappeared. Okay, sorry about that, technical difficulties, but I'm going to show you how to follow all these rules below. This is text 1. So, using text 1, I'm showing you how to follow all of these rules. So this first box is me showing you how to use rule number 1. Remember, rule number 1 is answer the question in your own words first. Your answer cannot be immediately obvious or super simple. Question 1 was, by the end of this text, how does the author want the reader to feel? So I read this text, which is about how climate change is affecting the Arctic Ocean, which in turn affects the whole world. So, read this text, and I answered this question, how does the author want the reader to feel, right here. I said, by the end of this text, the author wants us to feel hopeful that climate change can be reversed in the far north. At the beginning of this text, the author shows us the seriousness of the situation. However, by the end, the author shows evidence that the situation can still be saved. Notice this, the answer above does not just simply state that climate change is bad. Instead, this answer is successful because it shows how the reader's feelings should change over the course of reading the text. You would not be able to guess my answer here just by reading the title or by reading the first paragraph. You wouldn't be able to guess this answer. So that's why this answer is successful. I'm showing you the same things of how to do rule number 2. I'm not going to go over them just for time purposes. Rule 3. I'm showing you how to follow Rule 3, which is explain your answer further after providing the text evidence. Your explanation is the best way to make your inference better. If I'm you, I'm paying attention mostly to the notice this boxes. The notice this boxes are going to explain how to use these rules in the best way possible, which will help you do this build very successfully. So, these 4 notice this boxes, pay attention to those. Now, your student response pages. Step 1, read the text below titled Text 2, which is this text right here. Immigrants march to protest Trump's new policies. You're going to read the question titled Question 2, which is actually the same question as Question 1. By the end of this text, Text 2, how does the author want the reader to feel? Now, I've given you examples as to how you might use rule number 1. Remember, rule number 1 is answer the question in your own words first. Your answer cannot be immediately obvious or super simple. Example 1. The author of the text wants the reader to feel that President Trump is bad. Trump is so bad that immigrants march to protest Trump's new policies. And then example 2, the author of the text wants the reader to understand how wide the support is for immigrants throughout the country. Given recent changes in U.S. policy led by President Trump, people around the country have shown support for immigrants. So you need to tell me which answer is the least obvious, which answer is not super simple. You need to decide between example 1, example 2, which one is the best, which one follows this rule in the best way. You'll give me your answer here, you'll explain it, right here, 3 sentences. Do the same thing for Rule 2, Rule 3, and Rule 4. And then you're going to answer these final 4 questions. My best tip for you to answer these final 4 questions, use stuff that I said way up here in the notice this boxes. I'm basically giving you the answers up here, actually. So that's basically it. If you have any more questions, let me know.